Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Suman. In this video, we are going to discuss about AEM asset integration with Adobe Commerce. Let's understand a business requirement. Consider a customer already using Adobe Experience Manager assets for managing its digital assets like the images and videos. Also, he is using Adobe Commerce for his e-commerce storefront. Currently, customer managing catalog and product images inside the Adobe Commerce only, which is resulting in a duplicate effort and lack of centralized control over the assets. As a next step, customer wants to integrate AEM assets with Adobe Commerce so that product and catalog images in Adobe Commerce are directly sourced from the AEM assets. The objective would be centralized digital asset management, improved consistency and branding, reduced duplication and manual upload, and faster time of marketing new product and content. Let's understand the key benefit out of this integration. So first thing is that centralized asset management. AEM assets as a single source of truth. AEM assets serve as a central repository for all digital assets. We no longer manage any images, product images or catalog images in the Adobe Commerce. Second thing, the bulk asset management. So using the AEM asset interface, we can upload multiple images to SKU assignment. Third thing is the personalized customer experience. Using the GenAI service in the AEM, we can generate n number of images using the GenAI, using the command, using the prompt, and also we can organize or we can further customize those images using the Adobe Express. And finally, the automate the asset management. We can create a rule engine service which will match specific SKU based on the rule and assign the images to the specific product and SKUs. Now let's understand the step-by-step integration process between AEM assets and the Adobe Commerce. Before we start, let's go through the prerequisites. So first thing, we need the active license of Adobe Commerce, active license of Adobe Experience Manager assets. Then we need the active license of AEM Dynamic Media. Your Commerce version should be 2.4.5 plus. And then what you need is that Adobe Experience Manager is provisioned with the Adobe Experience Manager assets as a cloud service. And lastly, the Adobe Commerce user configuration, the integration must have access to the IMS org where the AEM assets project is provisioned. Let's understand the step-by-step installation process. So first thing, in the AEM End, you have to install Commerce assets. To install Commerce asset, you have to download Commerce asset boilerplate code from the GitHub. After that, in your local, you have to push, and once it is done, you have to push it to your cloud repository. So this will install Commerce assets. After that, you have to create a profile, and once profile has been created, basically I'm not going to the detailed description. The explanation is self-explanatory, but once you have created the profile and once the Commerce assets has been installed correctly, for every image you will see one additional tab called Commerce. Here you can define the SKUs, and these are the drop down how you want to utilize this image as a product type, like it's a thumbnail image or it's a base image or it's a small image or swatcher image. And here you have to make sure you select eligible for Commerce is selected as yes. Now let's discuss the installation approach in the Adobe Commerce. So first thing you need to know, in the Adobe Commerce version should be 2.4.5 plus, and then first thing you have to install the AEM asset integration extension using Composer, and you push it in your local instance or in your staging instance. Once this extension is installed, the next point is to install the Commerce Service Connector setup, and once that has been done, the next thing you have to make sure your RabbitMQ is set up and it is running, and the cron jobs are also activated. Here one important step is that you also have to make sure that all your consumer are running. After that, the next step is to enable the Commerce eventing. You also have to enable the Commerce eventing and enable it from the drop down. After that, the last part is that you have to create one integration token which would be required for the AEM asset integration, and that integration token should have the access to the catalog, inventory, product and external media. Once you have done this, the from the commerce end, all the necessary component setup has been done. As a next step, what you have to do is that the setup process. The setup process is that you have to go to store configuration, Adobe Service, AEM Asset integration, and there you have to configure AEM Asset program ID, environment ID, IMS client ID, and integration you have to make it enable. So from the AEM environment, you should able to pick up the information, and those information you have to configure. So once it has been configured, the full configuration may look like this. Now we are all set. Consider this is a image in the AEM Assets Manager, and we want to set this image to the product blue jacket, and we want to set this image as a thumbnail image, base image, and swatcher image. I have saved this in the AEM End, and let's wait couple of minutes to get data reflected in the commerce end. So in the commerce end, I see this product having the image is set, and base, small, thumbnail, and swatcher image has been set. I refresh the front end, and front end also the product images is reflected, and it is coming from the AEM Assets. Let's quickly recap what we have covered in this video. The business use case for integrating AEM Assets with Adobe Commerce, and why it's valuable for digital asset management and content-driven commerce. A step-by-step process for integrating AEM Assets with Adobe Commerce. Key configuration that is required for in the both of the system. A demonstration of a working setup showing the integration in action. We have included all the relevant tutorials in the description, so be sure to check those out. Hope you have liked this video and found it useful. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more helpful content on Adobe Commerce, AEM, and Digital Experience Solution. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.